Hello everyone, my name is Hideaki Ogawa, Director of Ars Electronica Futurelab. Today, I would like to take you on a special journey to explore our new exhibition titled Alchemists of the Future. This exhibition aims to showcase the Futurelab's latest projects as well as existing projects shown in Ars Electronica Center. In total, 20 projects are introduced in this exhibition. Considering the title, The Alchemist of the Future, what is the meaning of alchemy in 21st century? As an art-driven but interdisciplinary laboratory as Futurelab, we are laboratory and atelier to envision the future. So what's gonna be the hybrid creative usages for envisioning the future? We believe that alchemy is a quite interesting metaphor to revisit to the history, but also discuss the future narrative, the application about art. Then let me introduce what is a Futurelab. Probably for some people, you might know the Ars Electronica Festival. For instance, this time, the festival is really starting. Some people know about pre-Ars Electronica, or some people know about the center here, but probably some people not know where about the Futurelab. The Futurelab itself is located next to Ars Electronica Center. So we have around 40 members from different backgrounds, artists, scientists, entrepreneurs, engineers, architects, many types of people are gathering, and they are co-creating the future prototype. Look at this. There are many projects conducted by the Futurelab. For example, Spaxels. Spaxels is what if, you can see the 3D dimensional animation in the sky. So probably some people watched at this over the Danube. In this way, we are inventing the media of the future, or at like deep space here in front of us. So deep space 8K allows us creating immersive experiences. AI music for humanizing AI and the technologies. Communication with robots car, it's all about prototyping the future mobility. In this way, there are many projects created by the Futurelab. I would like to also introduce this book, Alchemists of the Future. So it's the same title as this exhibition. This describes history of the 25 years activities of Ars Electronica Futurelab. But of course, the main discussion is not just looking back the past, how to go beyond, for the future. So I'm very happy to announce this book publication. If you are interested in reading this book, you can download for free from our website. Okay, let's take on a journey with me. So before going to the journey, I would like to also introduce a key person in front of you. So she wears a special device, and we call this application as Ghost Dive, which allows remote visitor to see the perspective of this person. Today, time to time, you'll see a special perspective. What if you are at this Ars Electronica Center? Here, on the ground floor, we are focusing on the journey about your future. So let's take a look. The first project, Memo Room, created by Suzanne Kiesenhofer, which is a Futurelab member. Actually, this is a part of Ars Electronica Futurelab Ideas Expedition program, which is a grant for developing new ideas. So this project is focusing on the meaning of your voices for the future. Actually, for this project, you can visit to a special website and you can leave your personal message for the future. And during the period of this exhibition, you can leave, and you need to answer to the questionnaires, but your all voices are recorded digitally, and at the end, your digitalized voice is converted to this analog vinyl record. The idea behind this was, of course, this year our Futurelab celebrates 25th years anniversary. So what's the meaning of rituals in 21st century? And what's a new digital deal between digital information and analog? So the idea is 25 years later, the future of the Futurelab members are opening this vinyl record, and they needed to think about the way to utilize these voices. Then so they needed to think of what's the next new rituals 25 years later. So in this way, this project invites audience to think about yourself, very personal media installation. Okay, let's go to the next stop. This project is AI Inc., which is a collaborative research project together with Wacom. We, Ars Electronica and Wacom, have collaborated since 2020 for the exploration of the future ink. What's going to be the future of the ink? As you can see now, this is a digital pen and digital ink. But what if you can draw your emotion by this ink? In this project, we focus on the very unique combination between the pen, drawing, and AI music compositions. Adi Nikran is a co-researcher who developed this special AI software called Rechecker. And by using this Rechecker, your drawing is going to be a special compositions. The original music is the Blue Danube. Probably everyone knows about it, made in Austria. What if this music gets your emotional status? So on this interface, you'll see the calendar about last year. I suppose everyone spent quite difficult times. How was your January and February? You can draw your emotional temperature through a year. The temperature is fed to the AI systems. So the original music of the Blue Danube is transformed to your personal emotional Blue Danube. What if we can connect each sequence of the personalized music of the Blue Danube? What's going to be the future of the composition? And what's going to be the usage of the artificial intelligence system for creating such collaboration? So that's a question about this project. Hands for the future. There are 2,000 e-ink displays at the Ars Electronica Center. And actually, in this installation, your hands are very important meaning. This year, Ars Electronica Festival theme is a new digital deal. So what's your new digital deal to act for tomorrow? So this installation asks you for your actions for the deep issues, urgent issues related to Ars Electronica activities. In this installation, there is a station, hand station, and when you raise your hands are scanned. These hands are conveyed to one of the screens. But first, before raise your hands, you need to understand what's the issue now. So this time, a new digital deal is a topic. So if you have any ideas, if you have any motivations to be a part of this discussion, raise your hands. Your hands are captured. Then so you are the part of the big discussion in this project. The e-ink displays, maybe you might see in the supermarket. So actually, the displays are normally used for such, price tag and so on. And those displays were actually about to be disposed because of the small, damages and so on. How can we utilize those materials, medium, for discussing the, urgent issues? How to combat such medium to make social discussions? Here, we are inviting you to be a part of active co-creators to envision the future. I hope you enjoy the ground floor to find yourself in the future. Then let's continue our journey through the house. Let's go. Here we are -3 at the Ars Electronica Center. So the exhibition is about understanding AI. So for this collaboration, understanding of artificial intelligence, there are many recent researches and also technological developments. But artificial intelligence has still a lot of social discussions and also problems as technologies. So what's the data set and how to utilize the data for what? So what's the background of the artificial intelligence system itself? What is the bias about the creation of AI systems? There are many topics to be discussed. So for discussing such important topic, we Futurelab are always taking important researches, actions for opening the dialogues for people. Our alchemy is not just for our self-reflections to envision the future, but our alchemy is also for the general public. So here you can find many interesting researches about how to understand AI, what's the deep learning process through many installations. I explained the importance of the creative collaboration between human and the new technologies such as artificial intelligence. But the collaboration with technologies are not just limited for such artificial intelligence, but we can see many possibilities and issues caused by the pandemic. This project, Hybrid Space, is aiming to create a dialogue among us. I think after the pandemic, during the pandemic, you spent your time at home and also working style and learning at home and studying in the school completely changed. How to communicate with remote people, how to meet someone, how to share the presence. Hybrid space is such kind of playground to review our society. In this installation, you physical visitors or you virtual visitors from the website or robot can have the same playground. In this space, you can be creating one music together. So if you dive into the hybrid space physically, your walking trace is tracked then so this is creating the music. But when the other persons physically or virtually are crossing the lines. So from a website, you can draw your trace by your finger or mouse cursor. And when you draw it, the drawing is reflected to the ground immediately in real time. So you can collaborate with physical visitors. Then here, one question is popped up. What's the meaning of your physical impact? Even the input is from virtual, remote participations. What's the meaning of this drawing on your screens? What's the meaning here? The interaction. So now there are many discussions and also concerns the way to deal with such digital, conditions. How to deal with, what's the new digital deal in our time. In this installation, we can explore the human information balance for 21st century. So we are now at -1 of IHA. The place is Ars Electronica Labs. So here, our main discussion is about the future of code. As I introduced you many projects through the house so far, the coding used to be for computers and also, programming. But in 21st century, what's gonna be the meaning of coding? The coding is going to be not just for the screen and also programming, but for matters. Matters means smart materials or living matters. As an alchemy of the Futurelab, we are showing two projects here. One is Robotics, and another one is Bioink. So this initiative is done by Matthew Gardiner. It's ongoing research under the Ars Electronica Futurelab. In this project, see, so this is a very important metaphor, origami. Do you know the meaning of ori and gami? Ori means in English folding, and gami is a paper. From one flat piece of paper, you can create this 3D object. In 21st century, how can we utilize this for creating new interaction, new applications for our society? Look, this is another technique called Miura-ori. Miura-ori is really like this very simple structure, but from this pattern, you can create dynamic movement and also unique structure in this way. So in this origami robotics research, we are utilizing origami method for new programmable matters, how to program this kind of textile and papers or clothes for creating a very unique, design for the new domains. Second part is how we can transform the shape. As I showed you, because of this, memorized patterns, you can let it move. So origami can be used for also transforming. What if we can combine with smart textile and also kinetic elements together, how to design the effective, very smooth, natural movement into our daily lives. Then the final element is sensing. By moving, by let it move, if this has electric, currency to be detected. So we can, detect the condition of the materials or this kind of clothes. imagine if my cloth is origami, cloth. If I move, this is detected as like a sensors. Then so this can be applied for the other applications. In this way, Origami Robotics is a new strategy for designing such very unique applications, but by learning from tradition, but as well as nature.
Hello, welcome to the Bioink Project. My name is Yoko Shimizu. I am an artist and researcher at the Ars Electronica Futurelab. Right now, I'm standing in front of the Biolab at the Ars Electronica Center. The Bioink Project is a joint research project between Ars Electronica Futurelab and Wacom. Wacom is the world's leader in pen tablet technologies, and we're combining that technology with our latest biotechnology to create bioink that grows freely. In this project, we've developed the biopen that you can use with the bioink to create your own artworks that is alive and that grows and morphs into a beautiful pattern beyond your initial input. And before the festival, the Ars Electronica Futurelab members and the Ars Electronica Center members already created their bio artwork that you can see inside the gallery case. And then during the Bioink experience at the festival, you can also create your own bio art inside our biolab. So let's take a look at the Bioink technology inside our lab. Welcome to the Biolab. So now I would like to show you each component of the Bioink project. First, we have the Bioink, which is comprised of microorganisms. Here we have a microscopic image of one of the Bioink that we have. Currently, we have about 10 species of Bioink. This one is made from yeast. Yeast is a microorganism that you may be familiar with because it's often used in bread and baking. So here we have the small cells of yeast that are seen under the microscope. They are living, and when you use this as ink, your artwork will start to grow. And here we also have various pen tips. This is a Wacom pen, and you can actually remove and change them with different tips. So we tried various types of medical or biological tips to combine with the Wacom pen. And currently we are discussing with the research team in Wacom as well to develop new types of tips and see what kind of tips will work best with the Wacom pen tablet. Here we also have different types of microorganisms that are already used as ink to create biological artworks. Here they are in liquid form, and you will be able to see different types of biological ink and how they grow out in the bioink experience. So for example, these are the types of organisms called aspergillus, which sort of forms very fuzzy, beautiful bushy patterns. And then here we have the yeast that you saw over there. And this is the ink that you will be using for the bioink experience and what the participants were using in their bio art upstairs in front of the gallery. And then here we have the human microbiome, which is the microorganisms that live on your skin or inside your body. And then we also have some plant cells growing here as well. So in the Bioink technology, we combine the digital pen with various biological tips, and then we can use them to write write biological artworks on nutrient agar medium. And then we also have various types of nutrient agar plates, which was optimized to combine with the digital pen tablet. And here we have a prototype of the biological pen. It's a combination of, for example, this one, a cotton swab tip with a Wacom digital pen, and then it is connected to a tube and a syringe where the bioink will be stored, and then it automatically feeds that ink to the tip of the biological pen, and you can draw on the surface of a blank agar plate and create your biological artworks. At the same time, the digital data is received by the tablet, so you are extracting not just the digital image of your artwork, but also various ink parameters that the tablet can receive. So that information actually can be sent to an AI, for example, for analysis and also for additional creative visualization. With the combination of the BioPad and the digital pen tablet, we will be able to also use that digital data and convert that into biological parameters, which we can use to interact with the biological artwork as it grows. And we will be able to show you that in our future prototypes. So next, let's take a look at how we actually draw on the agar plate using our BioPen, BioPad, and BioInk. So here we have the digital tablet inside the clean bench. And then here we have the biological ink with microorganisms inside. We'll take a little bit of the ink and put them in a petri dish, maybe a little bit more so that you can see better on the screen. And then we have the Wacom pen tips that are sterilized and washed. This is inserted into a Wacom digital pen. So now you have a sterilized Wacom pen with the tip, and then here we have the nutrient agar plate, which was optimized to use in combination with the digital pen and digital tablet. And you dip the tip of this pen and draw on the surface of agar. And as you can see, the digital drawing is also emerging as you draw, and then this agar plate you can close and then put this into an incubator to grow them inside the incubator for a certain period of time, and afterwards it will go upstairs into the larger incubator, which is part of the gallery biolab gallery upstairs. And then this digital input data will be used for creative analysis and also converting them into biological parameters so that we can use them to interact with the biological artworks as well as for this data to be used by AI and other machines. We also have the drawing robot here, which we developed for the first stage. In the initial stage, we were drawing on the Intuos pen tablet, and the digital artwork created on the computer was sent to a drawing robot. And then the drawing robot draws on the agar plate, and that was incubated as biological artworks as well. Yorgos, can you show us a demonstration of the drawing robot?
Sure. So in that case, we have two steps. One of them where the user basically draws something. And then this data basically is a vector in a vector format, and the drawing robot is following the path that the user has drawn. So in that case, we make sure that the agar plate is on the right position inside the active area, so that the pen, who is already dipped into ethanol, and then has to be dried, of course, has to later go through the, get dipped into the Bioink, and then draw along the surface, onto the surface of the agar plate. So basically now I'm going to give a command that the drawing robot is going to follow the drawing path that the user has done before. First of all, dipping in. And that's it. That was of course a test. Usually here should be Bioink, like in our case we have been using yeast, and then the pen plotter draws onto the agar plate, and then we incubate that plate.
Yes, so as you can see in the Bioink project, we try to go beyond computing, beyond digital, and also step further from human-centric ways, and to create a creative symbiosis with nature and other living organisms. Understanding other living organisms also helps us understand ourselves, and we would like to create an ecosystem where not just humans can learn from nature, but artificial intelligence, machines, and robots are also co-creating with nature and also learning from nature.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the journey, the Alchemist of the Future exhibition at Ars Electronica Center. As I explained how to participate in the future and how to understand the latest technologies such as artificial intelligence, and how can we envision the new collaboration beyond the spaces. And finally here, we experienced the new meaning of coding. As you found a very interesting new coding for living matters. So in 21st century, in the age of climate crisis, how to collaborate with nature is going to be the key point. As Futurelab, as Ars Electronica, so we needed to act for those urgent actions. So in this way, our journey of the alchemy will be continued. And I hope we can meet somewhere for taking the opportunity together for envisioning the future. See you next time. Thank you very much for joining.